Everybody loves talking about the newest camera gear or the newest lenses or even the newest lights. But after a dozen years in this industry, I realized that some of the most important gear isn't attached to the camera at all. It's attached to you. Just like this hat. Ever since 2014, this hat has gone on every single set, whether it's been feature films, documentaries, or commercials. Here, let's get into it. And to this day, whether it's running this orchard or I'm on set, I still have this goofy looking hat. It was one of the most important decisions I've ever made back in 2014. First, some coffee. Trying a Rochester's Guatemala. Smells pretty good. One quick pro tip, don't work on a movie in Oklahoma that takes 90% of it outdoors without a hat like this. For those new to this channel, you might not recognize this water pour thing because the last one knocked over and the cat's broke it, but I'm using this one for today. And for those who've been around for a while, yes, I still have the same not so great grinder. Just finishing up college, it's 2014, and I get the opportunity to work as a second AC on a movie in Oklahoma. At the time, the movie was called IMOK. It got picked up either by Netflix or Prime during the pandemic because it's a pandemic-style movie, and they changed their name, and great, it had some more life in it. It was a lot of fun, but nonetheless, me and my college friend, he worked as the first AC, I'm working as a second AC, and we show up pretty green in this industry to a movie taking place in Oklahoma without any idea on how hot it can be. So sure, we prepped for the cameras and we got the whole camera department ready, but we didn't prepare ourselves. And after day one, we quickly went straight to Academy Sports and bought matching hats, differentiated only by the color itself. He got a little bit more of a tan one, and I got a little bit more of a green one. This one specifically, right here, more than a dozen years later, I'm still wearing this hat to this day. It seemed like a decision that was going to be temporary and only for while we were down there working on this movie. But then I realized that comfort on set is a production tool. And wearing a hat like this allows me to stay more comfortable during a majority of the day. Like I said, I already knocked on its looks, but it's practical. It keeps the sun on my eyes. It can be taken off easily, folded, stuffed into a pocket, taken back out. You can dip it into some water, make it wet or whatever, and throw it back on and cool you down. And it's one of the very few hats that actually fits my head. Anyone who's pixel peeping right now knows that I'm, pretty much at its limits. And the outer string is at its farthest back it can go. So there's really no need to tighten this thing down. So hey, it's kind of like perfect for me. I was never a really big hat guy growing up anyway. Sure, I love the looks of hats, but my head was always a little too big for most like traditional snapbacks or kind of fitted hats. And I've been to the lids and I've been to the stores, and I've never found anything that kind of works for me. We did this thing on set called Exploring in the Woods. And that was just one of my key words of saying, hey, I got a 10-1. I'm gonna go explore in the woods real quick. I'm gonna find the name of this movie. I'm gonna give a link to it down in the description below. I'm sorry I didn't prepare for it now, but check out the trailer. It was fun. We shot on like the Red Epic. It's probably just Red Epic, honestly. Do not recall even the lenses we shot on. We had some zooms, we had some primes. Once again, it's 2014. Crazy to think that I have anything from 2014, whether that be a piece of gear or a piece of clothing. I don't know who else out here goes through clothing or misplaces it as often as I do. It's like coffee's ready. That's good. It's gonna need some more ice though. One different thing about filming in this event barn during the summer is that this ice melts. Back in the day, when I was starting this YouTube channel, it was the wintertime. And sometimes you could see my breath, sometimes I showed you the temperature, but the one problem I didn't have was ice melting. Somewhere along this way, I realized that this lesson isn't actually just about this hat. It isn't about keeping things longer, but it's about being practical, having solutions, because on set, production doesn't wait for anybody. You gotta be ready for whatever might happen. Here, let's get into it. When you're first getting started, it's easy to talk about the cameras, the lenses, filters, matte boxes, tripods, anything and everything gear related, because it's also the most commonly pushed thing. They don't make an NAB based on apparel or hats or shoes. After many years in this industry, I realized the most important thing for me is the gear that I'm wearing. Today, I come dressed as how I would normally look like if you catch me on a production set. I don't quite wear this same dress blacks when I'm out here working on the orchard, but when I'm on production, I'm typically in blacks. Why do we all wear black or darker colored clothes when we're on set? It's because it's less reflective. Anytime I've done any sort of things with some reflections or windows or just materials that are very reflective, you end up seeing yourselves. The only way not to see yourselves is wear something dark like black. I spent some time in Los Angeles and I've worked all across this country, whether it's East Coast, down south, up in the Midwest area. And I've kind of noticed a trend, and it's not a bad thing, but sometimes it's how you look on set. Sometimes you show up to set and it can feel kind of like a fashion show. And that's okay to express yourself that way, but for me, born in the Midwest and how I kind of approach it to this day is just being very practical. To me, this clothes right here are very practical, particularly the Columbia PFG stuff. This stuff with Omni Shade. It's very lightweight, it's very breathable, and it keeps me from having to run to craft services for sunscreen. There's nothing worse than trying to grab any sort of camera handle and you've got recently applied sunscreen on your hands. Like, what kind of damage does that do to the gear long term? Versus always being protected from the sun with this kind of stuff and just constantly staying hydrated. There was this time I was shooting an ad on a big rental car service lot, and I'm in dress blacks, it's summertime, and the producer kind of looked over, noticed my face going a little pale, and he did assign a PA to make sure that I'm constantly staying hydrated, because this entire shoot was handheld with an easy rig for all the kind of shots, and I was operating all of that. Add the easy rig, vest to your body, add the weight of an Alexa Mini LF with ingenue, zooms, matte box fully kitted out, and add an entire day on a parking lot, on a black asphalt parking lot where the sun's baking down on it and bouncing back. There was one little moment when a producer turned and looked at me and said, hey, we're gonna stop for a second, you need some water. You really gotta start thinking practically when you're working on production, and that's what we had to do, me and that first AC so many years ago. We were outside for one full day in Oklahoma and realized when we wrap, we gotta go straight to Academy Sports and get some sort of large hat. We can't be out here in the sun like this for another, 24 days of production. If you're in the industry at all, we've all probably heard the Howard Stern little bit about the camera operator or the camera guys had I don't think he was calling us with the coolest pants, but he was poking fun and also highlighting the practicality and how cool it was that camera guys are ready for freaking anything. And he was talking about those pants that of course have the zipper and you can remove them now and you got shorts. I've drawn a line there. That's my fashion statement, is I won't wear the pants that can turn into shorts. I do understand how they're totally the most practical thing ever, but I just can't do it, dude. Got a little bit of integrity. Hey, if that's you, I bet you're super efficient. I bet every little toolbox has a label on everything you got, and I bet you're dialed in. And who would have thought? This is not camera gear related. This is not lights and lenses. But I'm just still shocked and chagrined that over a dozen years, I still have the exact same hat that I bought so many years ago and still wear and use on almost every single shoot. It always goes in my DP bag. But speaking of bags, I got one little pro tip that has saved me in a bit of a pinch, pun intended. Here's a little pro tip I bring on every single shoot. Don't arrive to set without a go bag. And what's in your go bag? It's a change of clothes from top to bottom, shoes and all. And sometimes I like to throw in, a couple of things like sunscreen, deodorant, toothbrush, just any of those little extra knickknacks that might help get you out of a pinch. Speaking of pinch, it's also not a bad idea to carry some chem wipes. Chem wipes saved me in a moment of need. Sorry, I got my cat just walked in. Oh, what is this? This is a black cat to match the black outfit. This one had surgery because he broke his back legs or whatever. He's one of our barn cats, one of our lucky outdoor cats that gets $3,000 worth of surgery. I'm gonna go put him in another room while we finish this video. Where was I? Chem wipes. Just because I work in the camera department, and I do have those typically with my open toe case. And it was on this shoot that I let out what I thought was gonna be a fart. And it was not. And to save you on some of the details, this production, we were about to go inside a very tight enclosed space. Some of you may know as the Gateway Arch. And at the time, we were only allowed a certain window of time, maybe about 15 minutes to capture what we needed for this commercial. And I did the wrong thing at the wrong time, but luckily, because I have a go bag in my car, I was able to run down there and get cleaned up. And because I'm in the camera department, I had a set of Chemtech Chem wipes ready to go for any camera lens needs. And this time I had to go above and beyond the call of duty for that. Bringing this whole story full circle, my first AC that I worked on that movie years ago, he's still in this industry to this day. He's out on the West Coast working on jib arms and techno cranes. He kindly, after hearing this full story, sent me a big box of Chemtech Chem wipes. And because of that, it has been a story and a little bit of a nickname that has stuck with me. But woe is me, let me be the first person who's ever done this. Don't jump on me too quick. Don't be self-righteous Monday morning quarterback and saying, oh, that would never happen to me. Come on, we're all human out here. I'm just brave enough to tell some of the stories that happened for real. Long story short, get yourself a go bag, full change of clothes. It's the rain jackets, it's the rain pants, it's the shoes, the socks, the underwear, the lightweight shirts, anything in between, the stronger sweater. It's just getting you ready for whatever you might run into on a production set. Because productions don't wait for anyone. And comfort is a production tool. Here, back to it. So, 12 years later, still have the hat. It's a little bit more worn down, and I've expected to have lost it along the way, but it's gone on adventures, it's done movies, feature films. It's been there since the beginning of my career up to the point of me getting signed with my agency over at Radiant Artists, and I still continue to go on every production to this day. Sure, do I own now the tan one and a gray one, just a couple other color options just in case? Yeah, because it's just one of those things now that serves as a gentle reminder of where I've started to this day and the importance of finding the best efficiencies and how comfort is a production tool. Well, if you want to see more of my work, you can check out StevensCGreathouse.com. Thanks for watching. Peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And Columbia, if you're watching, shoot me a message. Let's talk. It's all about this production gear on set. All right, peace.